What is happening to you guys? And welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate. That's right. We getting ready because this week one, Patriots are flying in tomorrow, trying to get acclimated. The fools. Can't wait. They're going to use more energy trying to get acclimated to the humidity this week. That will pay 0 to negative dividends for them come Sunday, because probably would be better off just flying out the night before, getting some good rest and playing the game and just handling it when you get there. Because you're going to suck out all the energy of your freaking asses all week long. It's dumb, bad move. Good for you. We'll get in all that. Got an article on it. I got all kinds of good stuff tonight. Thank you guys for coming around. I'm excited. It is week one. It is football time. It is time to get ready for some Dolphins Patriots week one at home. I mean, I'm excited. Giddy. So make sure you guys are hitting the like button. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, come on over here to YouTube and subscribe here on the network. Trying to get to 2,500 by week one. I think we're about like 75, 80 away, something like that. Hopefully we'll get there. And thanks everybody for hopping in early. Before we get into the shout outs, we are going to do the rundown. Make sure you guys are checking out every Tuesday. Tonk 17, my Tuesdays. Already spoke to Tonk. He will be live in action with color around 9 or 10 tomorrow. Boys are excited. Thursday night, late night color commentary. Going to be having Cup of Color in the mornings here real soon. Just talked to HB in the back. He's almost done with the new setup and intro for everybody. You're going to love it. Saturdays, 10 p.m., you got Late Night Exhale with Ali, crushing it. Every other night of the week, you can expect me, El Capitan. Sometimes later, sometimes earlier, sometimes during the day, sometimes outside your window late at night while you sleep. I am there waiting for you. Cash App, Venmo, the Fins Tailgate. Help support the program, you guys. You can also support through going through Backroom Collections in the description below. Offer code hashtag TFTG will get you 10% off. So you can also use the link for Fanatics. Got some good stuff through there. Use our link and it helps support the show. Also, there's all the good. Separate links. You guys can grab everything. Pick up all the good stuff. Get yourself a freaking tailgate flag. Get yourself some bathing suit for your old lady. Party down for the party down. Appreciate it. And there's all kinds of new gear on our store. HB put it all together. It looks dope. All kinds of new stuff. Make sure you guys are getting in there and checking it all out. And also, Super Chat, guys. Help out, support the show with Super Chat. We really appreciate when you do. It helps the show. What's happening? Marino's Go in here. Kenna, what's happening? We getting close to week 1. It is week 1. Just getting close to kickoff. That's what we get ready for. California, what's up? Fins TV 305, what's happening, my man? Green Rat, yeah. I got some cool videos, you guys, to show everybody. We picked up a new guy on the football team. Went to UCF, transferred from Auburn. Defensive end, Mike McDaniel already making good on his fucking love, we'll say. And I mean, very weird how I said it, but he said it much cooler about how much he loves getting defensive line guys. So making good on that. What's up, Duke? What's happening, homie? Scott, hello. Laura, fins up. You ask who made this intro? Not me. I mean, I've made some stuff around here, but we got the producer in the back, HB, hooking it up, keeping the silent but deadly team member. Just good, guys in the back. We a whole giddy up around here. What's up, Bill? Skylar's going to take Tua's job, but when? Because it's certainly not going to be week 1 or week 2 unless there's an injury. So when, Bill? Be specific if that's going to happen. That's why he had to take a day off, because he's so much better than Tua. Would have been embarrassed to a practice. Yes, he did have to take the day off. Undisclosed injury. Who knows? Maybe not. John, what's happening, bro? Shake money, familia up in here. We finna beat the patty melts, the patty cakes. We finna eat all the patty cake this week. Wash it down with, I was gonna say clam chowder, but that sounds disgusting. So I don't know. Just gonna kill it. What it is, you, Capitan. Laura, what's happening? Bill, you were out of your mind about Tua. I know, I love Bill. Why am I so handsome? That's my mama. My mama had made me that way. Jamie, Chris, thanks for your dedication, getting the content out to us. I can imagine it's a lot of work. Bro, it is. Yeah, no, I try my hardest. I'm doing whatever I can. When this I got a job coming up here soon that's going to be taking part in the next couple of weeks. It's been pushed back because the project has gotten pushed back. So when that comes, I don't know how much extra time we're going to have for this stuff. So I'm trying out all these different things, killing it as often as I can right now with the extra time. And going to try to, when that eats up all the bulk of my time and I have more limited time to do this stuff, try to figure out a way to streamline it into consistently decent content. And then on the weekends, we'll do the full-on tailgate extravaganza. I'll put the purple jacket on and we'll break out the 101 and we'll do pregame, we'll do live game, we'll do post-game, we'll do at game sometimes. The tailgate party that never stops is really how I finna have to the dream. It is what it is. So, Robert, what's happening? They're going to be miserable all this week. Yeah, bro. Why would they come down here? Bromar, what's happening, homie? Salute. Bentley. Pamela. Hello, Pamela. How are you? El Cap to his job is safe. Of course it is. Brian, what's happening? Always great content. Thank you, brother. Caleb, less than a week. I know it. Getting it in. Can't wait. Andres, what's good, homie? Evening, William. Evening. How do I like the practice squad additions? I like it, I guess. I mean, I like the fact that Andrew Van Ginkel was out at practice today, moving around and, getting in there. I still don't know if they'll let him play week 1, but they're going to have to really do everything they can to stop that, man. Andrew Van Ginkel, I love Andrew Van Ginkel, bro. But
right, bitches?
Exactly, bro. With the hair and all. New attitude, what's going on? I'm hanging in there, Andres. Doing all I can. Scott, been trying to trade Tua, but nobody want him. What, in fantasy or something? For the Sunday night Pittsburgh game, you're flying out for it in Pittsburgh, or I don't remember. Is it at home, Jamie? Look, when it gets closer to that time, I'll see what I could plug you into some people that might be around in that area, Jamie. That's the best part of doing all this the way we're doing it, is that, like, you go to a game anywhere against any opponent, you're going to show up to meet people. You know what I'm saying? There's people going to be there expecting to see you. That's the best part of the new Dolphins fandom, that soon enough, when there's hundreds of thousands of people on YouTube in this way, there'll be a easy way to correlate. Hey, we're going here, meet us here. We're going to have this. You'll see us broadcasting live from it. Oh, look who shows up. Yada, yada. It'll be like a sitcom and shit. It'll be like Cheers. Comes walking in the door. It's freaking Johnny Depp. He's a Dolphins fan too. Bah, zing. See what I did there? Man, I'm on fire tonight. Tyrone, what's going on? Let's go Dolphins. Let's hope we get that beat down. I think we're gonna get a good beat down, guys. I'm feeling super optimistic. Bones, salute, brother. Fuck no, not in fantasy. Scott says that. William says, strikes me that the coaches have confidence in our O-line. With that, we stood pat. Of course, you know what? I've tried to explain this a lot earlier on, that there's ways to hide deficiencies in the offensive line. Now, there is ways to get exposed in your offensive line, especially when you have like a trap back play with your guard as your lead blocker. They get their legs tangled up. You could mess up the whole play with something like that. But typically, a lot of tight ends, a lot of out of the fullback position, and even wide receivers, which a lot of times, and they'll hide this with Mike Gesicki as the slot wide receiver, have him come in motion. Really, he's just coming out to set the edge. So a lot of this is going to be offensive line just all going one direction, in which case, it's a little bit easier if everyone's moving in the same way. Everyone can kind of, get a couple hands out there, and it's about key points. The offensive line coaching this year is far and away superior than we've seen in the last few years. And I know because I was listening to as they talked in their interviews all offseason. And if you listen, there's something that rings true. And bringing Teron Armstead is probably, not probably, but I would say certainly, is such a step up from getting the lingo and understanding and showing someone what you're talking about, and helping the guys along with this system change. And the thing they all said a lot is getting to your key points, because a lot of times in an offensive line, you'll see a guy triple teamed and it shouldn't be. Why would you triple team one guy? That leaves all these extra defenders. When they're moving sideline to sideline, this guy that was lined up in front of you, he's not your man. In fact, if the guy that's to your right that could be your man, if he came on the inside gap of you, goes outside, then you might want to slide to the second level and get out to that freaking linebacker if you know it's a running play. Now, you don't want to do that if it's a passing down. You can get a legal man downfield, but that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You're going to see it. I'm actually going to do kind of a shorter video tonight because I'm doing a breakdown video of what I expect to see from Mike McDaniel in this run game and passing attack. And it's something that, it'll have its infancy stage early on. I think they're going to come out. I think they've got a big game plan, a lot of stuff put together for Sunday's game. I think they'll be good. But after that, next week's game, it'll be a little bit more limited. After the first 3-4 weeks, there's going to be some growing pains expanding on this roster and this scheme. And I talked to Color about this backstage, that like when it comes to Tua and his operation in this offense, there's things that I'm going to be watching for in his progression and understanding how this offense works and what's going to be asked of him. And him being able to take designed throws because of what you're going to do to scheme. And sometimes they're going to be the design throw on single man coverage downfield. Sometimes they're going to be underneath to a wide open tight end who now has nothing but real estate in front of him, where he's going to catch it 6-7 yards just past the line and turn around, and there ain't going to be nobody there. He's going to run for 12 yards before he gets tackled. Now you got an 18, 19-yard pickup. So I'm looking at a lot of these things, and I think there's going to be, some growing pains. The key difference between the film I'm watching and the film I expect to get out of the Dolphins come year's end, if all goes right with the system's growth, is we have speed unlike anything the Niners were using. So there should be even something else on this. And there's going to be outside man-to-man where the safety comes up because they saw the film last week where Durham Smythe caught a 19-yard pass pickup because he had all that real estate. Safety's going to get caught peeking at Durham Smythe coming up into the middle of the field and think, oh, I'm going to do that. And then realize on his outside shoulder is Tyreek Hill running past his defender. And he's going to have to turn his hips and go chase him, but there's no catching him at this point. He's too far away. He didn't come up or anything like that. So Tua's got to see that safety's stuck in the spot. They got to coach it, and then he's got to take that shot. And if that starts happening, forget about it. It's a wrap. It's a fucking wrap. And they have ways to design where he can get out the pocket and he'll freeze the safety. And as this offense grows, okay, so a great defense prepares for everything. They watch all the film that you can. That's how they know that, hey, when they do this, that's what made Zach Thomas so great. He knew that offensive coordinator, when he was a head coach at that team, liked to do this in the red zone, and that this kid did it good in college that he's going to try to run that play. That's what a defensive guy knows. An offensive guy knows that, hey, that defensive guy is that good to do all this work. I'm going to show him this knowing he's going to do that, and I'm actually going completely where he was at. He's now moved to make this play. Right where he's at is free grass, and I take that. So that's going to take some time. I know I just walked around in circles. Hard to keep up. Anthony, what's happening? Andrew Van Ginkel is a beast. God Soldier, what's going on? Steelers at home, baby. Can't wait. Yeah, there'll be plenty of people to link up with. What's happening, MCJB? Tyrone, Roadrunner, FinSup, bro. Shake Money. Adam, thank you for the $2 donation. FinSup, brother. Appreciate it so much. Thank you. What's happening, Most? Shout out to all the members, guys. All the members who support the channel. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Ian Baller, we gonna kill the Pats. That's right. So yeah, guys. Exciting to say the least. And shout out again to Adam, bro. You the man, dog. Where did I want to start? Let's see. Okay, so you know what? I'll go ahead and pull up the highlight video that I put out of the practice squad guys. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? He's just a practice squad guy. He doesn't have elite speed, but what he lacks there in speed, he's got an absolute size and strength. Um, got decent awareness. I'm wondering if in the scheme that they're bringing around here, are they going to use him maybe on the inside as an inside defender, ipso facto tackle, kind of like Christian Wilkins does? Wonder if they think that they can breed a little bit of that in him. So I'll show you a little bit. He played at Auburn, then he played at UFC. He was on the Cowboys. He did make an appearance and got a sack with the Cowboys this year. And let me go ahead and try to get this stupid ass thing to open up. Goodness gracious. Holy cow, forget it. Open up a separate window. So yeah, I got a little, I put together a little bit of highlight tape, figured so you guys could make yourself aware, just get a good peek at him. It's nothing very long or, write home about. His name is Marcavius Bryant, or Big Cat, as he's affectionately known. So I'll go ahead and pull this up. We could check it out and you guys can get a little peek at it. Short little highlight video from college and then his preseason. So that's him, number one. So he had his man beat, got a little far inside, should have taken a better outside lane. Quarterback makes the throw, but they're just showing his speed and stuff like that in this video. That's him again on the outside. Boom. What's up, Cap for Life? That last one comes and goes quick, but this is him on a stunt move, just mauling everybody on his way in. Look, here he comes. Boom. Just bull rushes the guy right off the edge and barrels right into him. He had to throw the ball away, but here he is on the sack from the outside. So he's got a little bit more speed than I anticipated. This is his, like I said, this is his most recent work. Coming off the edge. I mean, he totally got beat on his handwork on this. All he did was just use his speed to win the rep. So just a little something, wet y'all's whistle on. Figured I found some stuff. Might as well put it out. Try to keep you guys, entertained. That's what it is. So kid's got at SEC, he's prepared. Yeah. All right, let's see. I had some other stuff I wanted to show you guys too. Oh, the boys were out there today. There's no practice footage other than them being out there stretching and stuff like that. Did come out with them doing a little dancing going on out there. I got both those videos loaded up on the channel. You guys can go back and watch them and stuff like that. But at practice, I have some articles. We'll go into, what was said. We'll play Coach's interview as well because there was some interesting stuff to be had in there that he spoke about. And there's some articles written in context to it. But something that was mentioned in the interview was that they felt comfortable with their cornerback room and how well the young guys performed in them. Oh, to your point, MCJB, Are you worried? I am. I am worried. I've been talking about it all year, but it was asked this week to Mike McDaniel. We'll see that in the interview, and they're very confident with how the young guys played in the DB room that they're going to be fine the first 4 weeks. I think we've been spoiled, honestly, Dolphins fans. As a defensive coordinator goes, you never really have two top end corners on your team. You lucky if you get one. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're gonna lean a lot on this pass rush. They're gonna try to get. Imagine if we get this pass rush figured out and working out to a higher end than we've seen, just with organic pressure, not just blitzes. Blitzes, I think we're gonna do fine, especially the zero blitz, but also just with some 4 men coming after the guy. If they can figure that out a little bit, 4 or 5 guys come in and just getting sacks, causing hurries and off time throws. When Byron Jones gets back and is locking people down, this defense is gonna freaking just destroy people. So you got to kind of, like Mike McDaniel says, you got to kind of look at the negative and find where's the positive to be gained. And the only positive I can find is that, hey, they figure it out as far as a pass rush status to do their part and more schematically to make up for being down one of their top corners. And then at the same time, Keon Crossan, Kader Kahu, Noah Igbenogany, all these other guys. I think, what was it? Elijah Hamilton and, Eric Rowe, all them working out along with Nick Needham, obviously, from boundary to nickel safety and corner and stuff like that, playing down in the slot. They figure a way to be effective, especially against week 3 and week 4's opponents, who we know are going to pass, the Bills and the Bengals. Come when Byron Jones gets out there, this defense is just going to hurt people. And I think they're going to lean on the offensive run game too, guys. I really do. I think there's a lot we're forgetting. Craig says, and thank you for the $5 donation, Craig. Yes, there will be growing points, but all the Tua haters will say he stinks. Put him on the bench. Tua will give chance. They got to allow some growth, man. They have to. But, I think, there's this delicate thing of where expectation from the talent and also, like, execution. Like, there's going to be arguing where Tua's going to have a 350-yard performance and throw, say, 3 touchdowns. But 100, not 100, we'll say 100 of those yards are 3 of the catches to Tyreek Hill and 2 of the touchdowns. I don't want that held against my quarterback either. I'm sorry. I don't want to hold that against him if he's using the weapons well and operating in the system and putting up big points and making big throws. I don't want to see it degrading in that way. We have to remain objective with this offense. And there's going to be some give and take where the playmakers are going to make plays, and that's going to be a reason for some of the success. But I also want to see Tua elevate things and, where he's going to be the one that throws them on their back and makes big plays and do it. And I was talking to Color about this backstage, and I literally said, what will end the talk is going to the playoffs or winning in the playoffs because of Tua. That would literally, it would be the end all be all as far as haters will go or where we think we are as far as a quarterback position. It's going to take time. And we gotta wait until then. Now, if we're in week 15 and we're way out of the playoffs and we've only got 6 wins or some shit, then yeah, the other stuff will reveal itself beforehand. So, and maybe up to that point, it'll reveal itself different. Thanks again, Craig, for the $5 donation. You the man, dog. We got to remain as objective as humanly possible, because until we're out of the race, we're in it, and that's the bottom line. Until I know that mathematically we can't get into the playoffs, then I don't want to hear anything else. That's it. And I don't give a shit if you're a real Dolphins fan. You've been there looking at who's got to lose somewhere else for us to win today and how that puts us in a position where we can get in the playoffs with 9 wins back in the Dizzy when you could get in the playoffs with 9 wins at times. You can't do that no more. This is a long time ago, obviously. Miami has the second toughest schedule in the league, barring major injuries on it. You know what? I hear that every year, and it's true. But that's usually what happens. A couple of guys go down, a couple of divisions beat the mortal hell out of each other. By the end of the year, you're like, you know what? Maybe Jacksonville wasn't as bad as we thought because they rose up and did really good. And maybe, wow, maybe the Steelers, Ravens, and Bengals are not as good as we thought they were. That's really, it's a weird thing, the ebbs and flows of how the season shakes out, how the narrative can be all one thing. By the end of the year, everyone's in hindsight going, oh yeah, I guess we probably should have looked at it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's an amazing deal. El Capitan for Mike McDaniel to sound this confident, there's something to it. CBs, yes, I agree with you. There seemed to be an overwhelming confidence in what their game plan is. And I don't want to look through week 1 patty cakes because I'm not going to. And I want to look through week 2 against Baltimore. I think I want to see the adjustment on the defense come week 3 as far as the passing attack. But we'll get there when we get there. Because, again, I might not have to see that adjustment because I know who that adjustment is. I'm like, oh, shit. Watch out. No way, Benogany actually playing some football. If that happens, that's some different stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or holy cow, this Cater Kahoo kid out of the nickel is crushing it right now. And we've been oh so lucky around here, Dolphins fans, to find undrafted dudes that get on the field and make football plays and don't get run off the field. And, do their job. Q, what's happening, family? What's going on? So, yeah, guys, make sure you guys are hitting the like button, please. I keep forgetting to say it. Rock Rims, trade Gesicki for a second-round pick or Roquan Smith. Rock Rims, to me, Gesicki is remaining on that trading block all the way down to the trade deadline. Somebody loses a weapon somewhere or needs a weapon in some way. I think there's a chance they could trade him and find someone desperate enough to give you what you want for him, because that's the deal. Want what you want what you can get for him. Because I've said it a lot, there's value of him on the football team, that estimated value, the money that it costs to keep him and how that evens out, and then what you're going to get back in a compensatory pick for him. So whatever someone's willing to trade for that's how it is. But I'm assuming that they haven't gotten nearly close to what they want for him. So that's what I think, anyhow. So here's a great article from Chris Perkins, Sun Sentinel. And he says, New England's early week trip to South Florida for Sunday's Dolphins game could also be its downfall. This is the point I've been making to you guys. To me, they're going to make this early trip, and it is not going to help them. It's actually going to hurt them. Perhaps the New England Patriots really are smarter than everyone else, or perhaps Patriots coach Bill Belichick, widely regarded as the GOAT, is outthinking himself at this time, which he's done before. Come on, scroll down. You can do it. Or as former Dolphin NFL wide receiver Chris Chambers suggests, perhaps South Beach, Wynwood, Atlantic Avenue will be Bill Belichick's downfall. Whatever the case, the Patriots are heading their way on Tuesday, according to reports. With practices beginning Wednesday, Belichick is moving the entire team's operation to South Florida to prepare for Sunday's season opener against the Dolphins in that scorching heat at Hard Rock Stadium, where temperatures are expected to be in the 90s. With the humidity, it's going to feel like 110. It's called short-term heat acclimation. The idea is force-feeding your body days in the heat and humidity before a game so it can adjust by kickoff. In previous decades plus covering the Dolphins, I can't recall any team coming down days ahead of September game. And I hate to tell you this, Dolphins fans, but experts say Bill Belichick is on to something mentally and physically. Physiology, I would say, is an advantageous. It's an advantageous idea, says Dr. Brian Foster, according to the sports psychology master's program at Florida State University. Foster made it clear he was only addressing the mental aspect of the experiment. So for the physical aspect, I reached out to Dr. Brian Schilling, a professor at the University of Nevada/Las Vegas, or Nevada, Las Vegas, whose research looks into physically demands of military and law enforcement, among others, and examines how they are best to train to meet those demands. Schillings also thinks it's a good idea. You've got a 53-man roster, Schilling says, and some guys are going to adapt more than others, obviously, but it's better than nothing. It's smart. If I were Coach Belichick, I'd be doing the same thing. Chris Chambers, wide receiver coach at Kaiser University, as well as overseeing the performance division of Lifetime Fitness and Boca, also likes the idea, even if it helps 2 or 3 players, he says. Chambers, a fitness expert of sorts, said New England's early arrival should aid their rest and recovery. He pointed out how South Florida just had one of the hottest Augusts in record, which I hear that again every year. It's the hottest August of all time. It's the hottest September of all. It's all hot, bro. It's never there's one record-breaking day every year. And because of that, now that's the record-breaking month. Now it's the record-breaking year. Stop trying to gaslight me with all your record-breaking history. Get out of here. I don't want to hear it. It's hot. I know it's hot. You ain't gonna tell me it's record-breaking. I know. Fucking hot as hell out. The Dolphins players are acclimated. Removing day before the game travels is such a good idea, Chambers said. I'd be worried about the guys hanging out, Chambers warned. By coming to South Beach days early, Belichick might be inviting trouble onto his team. Often West Coast teams would travel to the East on Friday to acclimate to the 3-hour time zone difference, and it helps. But we used to go out Friday in the city we were in, Chambers said. Coach Mike McDaniel acknowledged this move doesn't fit Belichick's past behavior, but McDaniel also thinks his actions such as these are team specific. Clearly, he feels it's important to this team, he said. McDaniel, however, said it probably won't determine the game's outcome. I don't think it really will be the reason they win or lose, he said. It'll just be a contributing factor to either. Every year we hear about teams doing this to prepare for harsh road conditions, whether is blaring crowd noise during practice, cranking up the heat indoor facilities, or other teams loudly and repeatedly playing the opponent's fight song during practice. Man, that is a run-on sentence. You missed a lot of commas in that one, homie. If you're an athlete, you're thinking about the humidity while you're playing. That's something that's taking your attention away from what you should be ideally focusing on is your performance, Dr. Roster said. And so bringing that stressor to your attention in advance and making it a part of your awareness, you're preparing yourself for it to become normalized so you can put your attention and not to focus on it during performance from a psychological standpoint. We'll see whether it makes a difference. New England has lost 4 of the last 5 games at Hard Rock Stadium. McDaniel, a veteran coach at the tender age of 39, I think he's trying to be funny there, knows how this move will ultimately be judged by Patriot fans and the NFL world. He's seen this movie before. You know what, McDaniel concluded? It's always right if they win, and it's up for debate if they lose. Pretty smart. So to me, I don't know. I guess psychologically, yes, because I'll tell you what, you ain't prepared for it psychologically. You're like, oh my God, someone threw a hot blanket on top of me. So that I understand to that effect. But there is no acclimation to the heat in less than, I mean, god dang, dude, I've been living here my whole life. You can't get acclimated to it. You got to just be able to do it. And there ain't no way that they're going to run enough to get even remotely physically acclimated to it. So, and if they did, that would only in turn, to me, hurt them being not burnt out come week one. So I'll tell you what, if they're here and practicing here and get a couple of injuries, you're going to see this blow up right in their face right real quick. Could be really bad really fast. It also sounds like to me, what's happening, Dolphin Don? Jay Bands, what's going on? It also sounds like to me that Bill Belichick's scared, doesn't it? Is he scared? Sounds a little scared. He's never done this before. Rookie head coach, never came down, been just dog slapped around the last 4 years at Hard Rock Stadium. Is he scared? Sounds like there's some fear in him. I think he's scared, you guys. No, Pamela, you can't get used to it. It's too damn hot. I mean, it's ungodly and unhumanly survivable hot. That's why everyone lives on the coasts forever until air conditioning. Then you can actually move inside the state somewhere. Now, there is some rivers and some lakes where the wind blows, but you in certain spots of the state where the wind don't move, nobody lives there. It's too damn hot. Now you can live there because of air conditioning again, but forever. He's running scared, Dolphin Don. He's shook. McDaniel has the goat shook. I agree, yeah. I think he's a little shaken up. He's thinking, oh, shit. I'm tired of losing in Hard Rock Stadium. I gotta get in here. I think he's scared, guys. I think he is. I think we can safely put out the narrative with all sincerity that this isn't a show of strength. It's a show of weakness on behalf of Coach Belichick, that he's worried that when he looks at Mike McDaniel, he sees his counterpart. He sees the future. He sees himself becoming a relic in this industry. And this will be the beginning start. Like when you go to start to nail in the coffin, you have to like put the nail in and tap it in before you can move your hand, start hammering away. This is the starting in of that nail. To where the end of nailing into his coffin ends him, I don't know, but he sees it. And I see fear in his eyes. I see fear in his eyes. And I also think that there's some trickery around there. Y'all better be watching that mofo. And watching him closely. But don't cheat. That's what I think. Yeah, guys, Ali's right. Hit the like button, please. Slapping around the Patriots like button like that. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's going to be 90 with 100% humidity. It's going to feel like 110. So it's a done deal. Let's see here. Interesting article. Which one was it? We'll go to that one in a second. Go to that one too. All right. So I'm going to read these two Miami Herald articles back to back, both by Barry Jackson. Both are really cool. The first one is, here's how Tyreek Hill has done against the Patriots, and the Dolphins finalized their practice squad. So we'll get into a little bit of the practice squad dudes. And I'm interested to know how Tyreek Hill has done against the Patriots. So he's now joining a team that has done well against Patriots. So I'm sure he'll be excited about that because I know I is. Thank you. So, all righty. New Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill said on Monday that Bill Belichick is one of the greatest coaches ever. And the way he thinks is next level. But Bill Belichick's brilliance hasn't always stopped Hill from feasting on the New England defense. No. Including all of the AFC West teams whom Hill played against a lot as a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. Hill has more receiving yards against New England, 401, than any other team achieved in 4 games against them. So the 4 games he's played with his 401 yards, no one has ever gotten that many receiving yards against them in 4 games. Hill has caught 24 of 34 targets in those games against the Patriots. The Dolphins and Patriots meet at 1 p.m. on Sunday at Hard Rock Stadium at CBS. Hill has played against 30 NFL teams and has appeared in more than one game against 23 of those 30 teams. So his 100.3 average receiving yards against the Patriots is the 6th highest average against any team, behind Tampa Bay with 161 average receiving yards in 2 games against Cleveland. It's 161 yards, not against Cleveland. Cleveland has 133 yards against 2 teams. Philadelphia has 114 against 2 teams. Jets with 103 and 3. When we play them, there are some plays that I do get doubled when I was with the Chiefs. He said, who knows what to expect with the new team? I'm sure Bill has a plan up his sleeve. I'm sure our coach has one up his. Having perennial Pro Bowler quarterback Pat Mahomes obviously helped Hill against the Patriots when he played for the Chiefs. But Hill remains bullish on his new team and new teammate Tagovailoa, whom Hill has called the NFL's most accurate quarterback. Tua is not a vocal guy, Hill said today, when asked about himself and Tagovailoa being voted as a captain. He will talk here and there. He works harder than anybody, though. Hill, who has made the Pro Bowl in all 6 of his NFL seasons, eagerly anticipates his Miami Dolphins regular season debut after being acquired from the Chiefs this past spring. He played 3 offensive snaps in the preseason and had 51 yards from Tagovailoa. God gifted me with the skill set, so why would I let it go to waste? Hill said Monday. I feel great. I'm going to let all my talents be on display. I'm not the biggest Christian, but I don't want to waste this opportunity. I'm very proud. I'm very excited. Family is very excited. I can't wait to score my first touchdown as a Miami Dolphin. Hill incidentally said his former coach Hill incidentally said he informed Coach Mike McDaniel that he will pause his podcast until February so that he can focus entirely on NFL football. That I expected. I mean, guys, who didn't see that he was going to stop doing the podcast? You guys thought he was going to do it all year? No way. It's all right. Filling out the practice squad. Dolphins fill out the practice squad. The Miami Dolphins filled their 16-man practice squad by cutting defensive lineman Niles Scott and then signing 5 of these players. First of it is linebacker / defensive end Big Cat Bryant. He played 4 years at Auburn, where he had 56 tackles and 10 sacks before finishing out his career at UCF last season, where he had 50 tackles and 6 sacks. He then signed with Dallas after the draft. The Cowboys cut him. He did appear in 1 preseason game and recorded 1 sack. Defensive tackle. Next guy is defensive tackle Hossein Bronson. He went undrafted out of Washington 17 months ago. He spent much time last season with the Saints. He had 11 tackles in 6 games. He was waived in mid-December and spent 3 weeks late last season with the Cleveland Browns, appearing in 1 game. Bronson signed with Dallas on January 5th and was waived last week. Next guy they brought in was one of the guys they had in earlier, Keon Smith, offensive tackle. Now gets to rejoin Larnell Coleman as one of the 2 offensive tackles on the practice squad. Chris Steele, who is a 6'1" cornerback, began his career at Florida before transferring to Southern California. He had 95 tackles, 3 for a loss, and 1 sack, 12 deflections, and a fumble recovery also recording a forced fumble and 3 interceptions in his career at USC, appearing in 29 games. Somebody to keep our ears open to, the Chris Steele, 6'1" cornerback. He's got the measurables that you want to have at cornerback. Maybe they can, work something out with our good coaches we got back there. He signed with Pittsburgh after the draft, but was released in the final round of roster cuts. He was targeted twice in preseason games and didn't allow a single complete. Dolphins also signed defensive tackle Christopher Hinton, a Michigan rookie who started all 14 games. Man, all defensive dudes, huh? Started 14 games for the Wolverines last season, and he had 33 tackles, 1.5 for a loss, and a sack and a forced fumble, and recovered 2 fumbles. He was Big Ten honorable mention. He was waived by the Giants August 19th. Dolphins also previously signed 11 players to their practice squad, filling it out with River Craycraft, Braylon Sanders, Freddie Swan, which we have a highlight video if you guys want to check out Freddie. Offensive lineman Larnell Coleman, James Empty, another O lineman. Corner, that's the center that they brought in here. Cornerback Kalen Barnes, defensive lineman Ben Still, edge rushers Cameron Good and Porter Gustafson, which I'm surprised we got both those dudes back on our practice squad. Verone McKinley III, which is awesome, and they were able to get back Zaquandre White. So I like our practice squad. Practice squad seems all right. I don't know a lot about these other guys. I'll actually see if I can get defensive tackle Christopher Hinton and Josin Bronson, defensive tackle. I'll try to see if I can get some stuff, highlight stuff to put out there for you guys to check out. That'll be cool. See if I can find some stuff in this for you guys. Oh, Pamela, thank you for the $2 donation. Salute. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Who's wild, Vlad? Who's getting wild? Who's in the chat getting wild? CM or JM CPT, what is good? Hello? Who's getting wild in the chat, you guys? I know the chat gets wild, bro. We bring them out. We accept everyone in all of our glory, in flaw and all. I love you all because, I mean, damn, dog. Who am I? All right, so this next article that I only skimmed through it. This is something that I like because it's being critical of everyone's favorite player, Jevon Holland. And I know everyone's like, oh, he's so great. But if you were to talk to Jevon Holland and he's wanting to become an elite status, go from being a very good corner, now he's a captain. Now we want to see him become Pro Bowl, elite, top 5 safety in the NFL, top 3, live out all his potential. We can be critical in a good way, in a very good way. And I like this article because of it, because it's not being critical, it's being hopeful if you want to be real. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Can you guys hear that music? I don't know what's playing. Oh, I see it. Stupid thing was playing in the background. Sorry. All right, so let me go through this article. Barry Jackson article from the Miami Herald. What must change for Dolphins promising Holland and Jones safety duo to reach its potential? So it's not just about Holland, but I love how he comes out. Nick Anderson and Jake Scott, 2 of the defensive stalwarts on the undefeated 1972 team, remain the best safety tandem the Dolphins' history. And that might never change. But for Jevon Holland and Brandon Jones to make a case to someday be in that discussion for second place on a subjective list, which includes Lyle and Glenn, Blackwood, Jeremiah Bell, Rashad Jones, Jarvis Williams, Louis Oliver, which I love Louis Oliver, dude. He would crack mofos, dude. Two things must happen before over the next several years. This isn't something I got to see right away, but this is an interesting article. Holland must make the jump from a very good NFL safety to an elite one, an evolution that some experts expect because of his ball hawking skills, instincts, and relentless drive to be great. Brandon Jones, one of the league's best pass rushing safeties, must become better in pass coverage. Jones, entering his third year into the league, leads all NFL safeties with 5 sacks and 17 quarterback pressures last season. He's fast and a sturdy tackler. But metric sites rate him among the league's bottom third safeties in coverage skills. He must change for Holland and Jones as a tandem to be mentioned among the league's greatest safety duos. Does Jones have the skill set to improve in coverage? Yes, new safeties coach Steve Gregory says. He's athletic, he's fast, he's smart, Gregory said. There's no reason why he can't do all the different things a DB needs to do on a down in and down out basis. Be able to cover guys, be able to cover tight ends, play the deep part of the field, be able to blitz, be able to play zone coverage. All those things should encompass what his ability to do from a tool set standpoint. At this point, number 3 safety Eric Rowe remains a reliable option defending tight ends and running backs, and that's what he does. That's his specialty, guys. Though his coverage skills numbers fell off last season, which was odd to me. I don't know. I wonder a lot if Eric Rowe was playing hurt last year. I don't know. Worried about Brandon Jones taking his job, and that happened anyhow. What worrisome with Jones and the coverage skill issues back to Texas. In the final season with the Longhorns, he was targeted 46 times and allowed 34 completions for 330 yards and 6 touchdowns when he lined up in the slot per Football Focus. That's 133.2 passer rating against. As a rookie in 2020, he permitted 23 of 28 targets against him to be caught for 202 yards and a touchdown, equal to a passer rating of 108.6 in his coverage area. Last season, also per Football Focus, Jones was targeted 25 times in coverage and allowed 22 completions for 305 yards, a touchdown, and 1 interception. That's a bloated 114.2 passer rating against him. So in his NFL career, he's allowed 45 passes on 53 attempts thrown against him. Jones believes he has pinpointed his primary problem, and that is eye discipline. He said he works on it every day with Gregory and coverage aspects and responsibilities. I get with him every day before practice, and we work every aspect of it, from the top of the route, from the line of the scrimmage, to how to use my hands, how to use my feet. He said, and eye discipline. That's something huge for me that I've noticed. My eyes are raised a lot in man coverage, which messes me up. Really focusing on that and fixing it. The Dolphins hope to reach the point where Jones is at least close to being as effective in coverage as he is as a blitzer and an open field tackler. If the Dolphins opt to blitz Holland, who is a very good blitzer, they must trust that Jones will hold up the back end. Brandon in particular, there are definitely elements of his game we're trying to get better from in coverage to deep part of the field. Even in improving his blitzing, Gregory said. That goes for all our players. We want them to be as versatile as possible and not be pigeonholed into being a one-trick pony. The more versatile we are, the more chess pieces we can fit in places. It makes it harder on an offense. Coverage shortcomings. Hold on a second. The coverage shortcomings are primary reason that Pro Football Focus has ranked Jones 84th among 94 qualifying safeties last season, compared with Holland, who's ranked 4th, and Eric Rowe, who's ranked 25th. Those pectoral whose pectoral injury left his status in question for Sunday's opener against New England Patriots, talking about Eric Rowe, who does have a pectoral thing he's working out. Holland, conversely, allowed an 88.6 passer rating against in his coverage area with 12 completions on 22 targets for 208 yards and 4 touchdowns allowed, but he had also 2 interceptions. According to Pro Football Focus, Holland allowed 3 more TDs than Jones. Working on his craft, has never been an issue for the studious, diligent Jones, who prepared reports on all 32 teams' defenses as a personal project before the Dolphins selected him 70th overall in 2020. Even the stuff I think I do good needs work, Jones said. You're never a great player. There's always room for improvement in every aspect. Jones hopes he and Holland can be Dolphins starting safety tandem for years to come. You would have thought we would have been best friends forever, as Jones said about their bond. He's a hell of a player. I love playing alongside him. But yeah, it is a lot to do with Jones. They got to be able to continue to play well off each other, stay in each other's heads, and you don't want to kind of take away the dynamics from Holland for Jones not doing his job in the back end. So hopefully he's worked on that craft. I think there's a lot of reasons to think that they are that much better than they were last year because of how confident everybody seems to feel about their cornerback situation. And we're going to get to that press conference from Mike McDaniel here in just a second, so you guys can see he's pretty damn confident in it. But before we do, make sure everyone's hitting the like button, subscribing if you're new. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, come over to YouTube, subscribe here on YouTube, and get in with the family. Make sure to support the show through Cash App and Venmo. Also, make sure to check out all the great content we have here. Talk 7 TMI Tuesdays, live around 9 with color commentary hosting. You'll see him on there tomorrow night, guys, 9, 10, whatever time they've decided to go. Thursday nights, you got late night color commentary. You also can catch color in the mornings on some of the days. Getting ready to come out with a new intro on that. We also got late night exhale on Saturdays with Ali, crushing it on the weekends. Don't miss an episode, you guys. Make sure to check it out. Support the channel through Fanatics, link in the description, as well as the link in the description for Backroom Collections. Both links are down in there. You get 10% off at Backroom Collections if you use offer code #TFTG. And then we got some of our gear chilling back there. All kinds of good stuff. You guys can check the links for all this good stuff that's right down below. And then also there's a link to the new merch store that has all different kinds of stuff. Even like baby onesies, everything. Shout out to all the members, all the mods. Appreciate you guys supporting the show the way you guys do, becoming members. What's going on? Travel Adventures with Eric B. Thanks for showing up, brother. Appreciate you, L family in this month. What's up, Canes 1989? How goes it? Dolphins no match for Buffalo. Come on, David, in here trolling. We gonna put a working on Buffalo. Watch. Buffalo ain't gonna be prepared. Here's to Buffalo's undefeated season. Don't even you take that nastiness out of your mouth, bro. That team won't even know what championships feel like, much less undefeated. Perfection it's impossible in today's day and age. We could only have done it once. That's why it's only been done once. All right, so let's bring up Coach's interview here, and we'll dissect from it what we can and how we can. Oh, my fault.
So you start with a 4-parter? Let's go.
I got only one today. It might take a little bit of build up. So you obviously have Pro Bowl cornerback and safety. You have a good corner with body work and need a question that we all might get from readers. I've gotten this a few times is if you could take us through the thinking that you and Chris had in deciding to stick with a young group beyond that, obviously with Keon Cross and Noah. Elijah obviously can play some corner and cater, as opposed to the other option that you had. Was there a couple of 30-something former Pro Bowl corners out there, the Joe Haythys, the Chris Harrises? What was the thinking of you and Chris in sticking with these young guys instead of an older?
I wonder where they get the Joe Hayden from. Watching TFTG? I don't know. We talked a lot about it. Imagine that. I know Color's thinking the same thing. He's like, these sons of bitches.
Former Pro Bowl type corner.
Well, as you guys were very consistent at reminding me in the course of the off season, we they may be young and new to the Miami Dolphins fan base and to you guys, but because we were going through some injury stuff during this offseason, we actually got more opportunity to really coach and evaluate and see our young nucleus of defensive backs, and which was the driving force of our move to make no move, so to speak, because they're very veteran to us in regard to their capabilities, their strengths, weaknesses, and so on. So we were actually pretty fortunate in the process to get those opportunities to kind of evaluate all those guys so closely, getting them to see in every single defensive structure, coverage, responsibility, all, and then even getting extensive time in the preseason. There was a lot of value that the collective group really offered us. And
I guess if we're going to take coach along with Patrick Surtain and Sam Madison's word on what they see in these younger guys and what they like and believe they can build on, along with Josh Boyer, he's had a lot of success in finding corners that fit in this system and do a damn good job. So, I mean, look, they've proven it until it's proven otherwise. I feel like we find some hidden gems.
Then you weigh that against who's out there and decide if you really want to go down that road. And for us, we felt like we had enough NFL players that we were best served not doing so.
Truth.
Similar, or some of them are. I imagine splitting up carries and touches would be very matchup oriented. Just what goes into that process for you?
Oh, you got some fantasy decisions to make? No, you just and you guys have heard me talk, and it's really it's following through with kind of the whole ideology of not getting yourself ahead of the curve. You just have a group of guys that you try to go out and compete with, and then you kind of see where it falls. So there are some skill sets that are overlapping, but that wasn't necessarily by design. You really just let the stuff play out, and there that group of running backs was as competitive as I can really remember having in my NFL career, which is a great thing for the Miami Dolphins. And what that affords us is a lot of guys that that the whole group is is very has the ability to make plays in both phases of offensive football. And with those overlapping skill sets, to me, all that means is we should be able to have someone fresh who is someone that we can lean on a hot hand if necessary, but we can keep running backs fresh, because that in this day and age where there's physical football plus on top of that, it's a very fast game, the fastest it's ever been, really. I think data would support that you want guys that are in charge of carrying the football and making plays in the pass game as well, to be as fresh as possible. And I think that's what our group allows us.
Those four stood out to you in short yardage goal line situation.
I think they all have specific type concepts and plays that I didn't know going into this off season that I know now, depending on where they, if they like to be under center or in gun, if which side of the, if they like to be, certain types of ball handling, all of these things you kind of find and learn your runners. And yes, there are some schemes that are tied to them. I'll leave that for your best guess. And I guess opposing defensive coaches who we're facing, but that you do, and there's some overlap there too. So I think the biggest thing is for us to be able to have um, fresh ball carriers at any given moment, and I know they're all capable of toting the rock for the Miami Dolphins when called upon, which is why I'm excited.
Mike, the New England Patriots are reportedly coming down here this week to practice to acclimatize to the heat and humidity.
So dumb.
Have you done things like that in the past, whether it's the wet ball or blaring opponent's fight song or cranking up the temperature in the practice dome, and does it work to any degree?
No, so that's the fortunate thing about being this old young guy that you're looking at. I have been in the league for an extensive period of time and been under different head coaches, and so I feel like I've tried a lot of different things, whether it's correlation or causation. I think you kind of, my personal philosophy is you fit it to the needs of your team. I don't think that this has been like kind of his mode of operation, Coach Belichick's in the years past. So clearly he feels like it's important for this team.
He's scared.
That there's
He knows his team is trash, and he's scared.
And
that's what it is. Just say it, Coach. You could do it.
Win or lose, just be a contributing factor to either. So that's kind of the way I look at stuff generally. And whether it's crowd noise, whether it's fight songs, that I've been a part of it all. I remember early in my career, I think it was my first year coaching in Denver. But I feel like the whole week that we were playing the Raiders, we listened to that Raiders anthem, which was droned in my head. And it's kind of like a high low too. Like it starts off really soft, and you're like, "What is this?" So we've done that. Have gone time zones are generally important, where you if you're gonna do 2 cross the country trips, we've spent time there, and we've tried to compensate for the heat in the past, and so there's a bunch of different avenues that coaches go, and you know what, they're always right when they win, and it's up to debate if they lose. So I think that will be the same moving forward with this game.
Some players say that like they need to be hit before they really feel comfortable in a game. Is facing Bill Belichick in your first regular season NFL game like the coaching equivalent of that?
Yeah, I mean, can there be a larger disparity in career win-loss total? No, it would be a bigger deal, I think, if Coach Belichick and I were on the field, maybe doing like an Oklahoma drill. But I don't foresee that happening. I don't think the fans would really pay for that. So there's we do our best. I know one thing that that coaches in the National Football League, especially experienced NFL head coaches, especially arguably the best coach of all time, Bill Belichick, he's going to be prepared. So you're that as a head coach, you better prepare your team and leave no stone unturned. Otherwise, you'll end up kind of coaching with regret after the fact. Luckily, the schedules came out a long time ago, so I digested that and knew what week 1 was. And luckily, it's the Miami Dolphins versus New England Patriots, and not a one-on-one square off between head coaches.
Mike, I wanted to ask you, it's been about a week since, sorry, Hal, I didn't hear you.
Go ahead.
It's been about a week since Jason's passing, and with his celebration of life today, I just wanted to check in and see how you were doing, how the team's been doing as you get ready to celebrate his life.
It doesn't go away. I think, that's human nature. You just asked me before Hal's question, so I'm getting choked up, and it's gonna be tough, but I'll get through it.
Yeah.
It
Had the
it doesn't go
celebration
away,
of life
and
today
nor
too, guys.
nor it shouldn't. You know, that's just being human. That's just being. You just know that really the hardest part is thinking about listening to the kid. In that, there's things that uh, our day-to-day lives have been substantially adjusted. Some people more than others, but regardless, it's affected, and that's tough. And so you just try to lean on the people that you love and care about, and try to really lean on each other as a team and put your best foot forward. But it's not anywhere nor corrected or fixed. That feeling doesn't go away, and nor I don't think as a human being should it.
Thank you.
Damn.
I'm back.
And it's hard to go back to a football question.
That's all right. Yeah.
Now that we're past the preseason games and the vanilla play calling and so forth, I think people are kind of curious as to what to expect from you in terms of a play caller. Now, I know game situations dictate a lot of that, but in general.
So the question he's asking right here about what people are going to expect for him as a play caller, as a head coach, what the offense is going to look like. That's the video I'm working on right now. What I think it's going to be, maybe we won't see all of it, but the offense in general, that's the thing I'm trying to put together.
How would you categorize your philosophy toward the calling plays?
The good ones were my calls. The bad ones were my staff suggestions. No, I think you just, to me, the best way, offensively or defensively, to call plays is not to live in a box of predetermined X, Y, or Z. You're trying to play to the strength of what your team is good at, what your players are good at, and then balancing what you're going to see, and just trying to stay productive. Try to keep people out of harm's way while also getting explosive plays on offense and preventing them on defense, down and down out. What does that mean from a practical application? Absolutely nothing. It means that from week to week, if a defense is presenting, if they're presenting one thing that's terrible to run certain types of plays, I'll do my best not to run those plays. But I think what you will see from me as a play caller is someone that's doing their best to adjust to the defense while playing to the strengths of our nucleus and our players. And I think that may change after the first two series. There might be some crazy orbit style defense that I hadn't thought about, and we didn't prepare for. And after the first two series, we'll adjust. That's the coolest thing about week one in general, is because that there's buildup on both sides of the ball. You have stuff that you've planned for, but what you haven't planned for is the unplannable. So that adjust during the game, and I've been fortunate enough to be in a position in my career where I've been able to put myself through that whole play calling process deliberately for basically the past decade, and so it's not something that I don't see the cause for the unexpected or the call for unexpected. I know week one you expect the unexpected, and we'll get into a rhythm, and hopefully that's that rhythm is drives that are a lot of yards and end in points, and then we'll go from there. But it's not something that I could ever typecast, I don't think, because I think that's short selling the defensive players and the scheme that we're going against.
This is an earlier question. How much do 3 practices in this locker get a team have to make this time? Your experience in training camp.
He definitely doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's going to get caught off guard. Like he's literally, even though it's going to be first time because he's the guy that has to be in charge as a head coach, he definitely sounds absolutely prepared for the unpreparable. That I'm doing everything I can to prepare for it, and yet I'm still leaning on the fact that something's going to happen that I ain't prepared for. So I got to look forward to the growing opportunity that's presented with me. So that's the only way you can look at anything in life and have success.
Well, yeah, I don't think I've ever done it. I think it all depends on the team and their situation. I know certainly it makes sense from my standpoint what Coach Belichick and the Patriots are doing because it is very, very hot. I think that the as much was relayed to us from the Philadelphia Eagles head coach and team. They're like, whoa, this is different. It is. So, whether that amounts to X, Y, or Z, I think it's just a part of it.
Salute,
as
Daniel.
much as it's awesome
happening.
to feel comfortable with the heat, I know Coach Belichick will be saying, well, it doesn't matter if we don't execute our fundamental core principles. And, they could be really, really hot on Sunday. And if we don't execute, is it going to matter how hot they are? So it is a component, but to make it black and white, I don't think myself nor Coach Belichick, I don't want to speak for him, but I think that's just a component that he's trying to help his team get prepared for that game, but it's not the entirety of it. And so it'll be good for them to, I feel very lucky, almost overly lucky that I get to work on my tan all the time. I'm sure there's a lot of players and coaches for the Patriots that'll be excited to, bronze up a little bit, before the TV regular season starts. So I know that for a fact.
This guy's ridiculous
if
sometimes.
you don't put sunscreen on, you will get bronzed. So factually, they better SPF up.
And do it very early, because if you do it too late and you start sweating, you will cause yourself to overheat and you will freaking get heat stroke, because that's a fact. People be lathering up sunscreen, going out in the sun and the humidity, sweating, can't sweat, pores are clogged. Now you drop dead. Look what you did. Hit the like button, everybody. Subscribe if you're new. Let's get into the Andrew Van Ginkel, and also Jalen Waddle looked good at practice today. I posted a little quick video of the boys, boogieing out on the field. And as you guys noticed, Jalen Waddle's hops skipping around, healthy as can get. I've told you guys, I know they had his leg wrapped up, but to me, I never heard it was a lower leg injury until they told me. And up to that point, I was told from many of things, he jammed his finger, he's fine, he could play right now if he needed to. Next thing you know, they got his leg taped up. And I don't know, it just looked like a little bit of nonsense. I thought he was fine the whole time. I think they just wanted to wisely not show anything to Bill Belichick. And now Bill Belichick has to imagine what the offense is going to look like. He's seen some stuff, but he has to literally imagine what is it that they're going to do. He has nothing to go on. It's not going to be easy to prepare, which is why he came here early to try to steal some tape. So watch out. Keep your eyes peeled for anybody with a Boston accent creeping around. Hey, yo, I'm the new janitor up in here or something. They'll be trying to steal some practice footage real quick. But I got a little quick clip of the boys getting ready for victory dance. And I know, cart before the horse with a victory dance, but I don't care. Here's a little clip from them at practice. Just skip it around. Is this not the perfect music to put it to them dancing to or not, guys? It took me a little bit to find some good music to put to this. This is the perfect music. Look. Bro, I'm sorry, but when I put this music to this, I died laughing for like 20 minutes. I hope you guys are laughing because it's freaking hilarious to me. Like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get hit with the copyrights on the music. Let's add my own music. What works? I found this. It works perfectly. Look. Tell that shit ain't fire. Trent Sherfield come in hot as fuck. Sorry, dude. That was funny as hell, man. I will troll the shit out of my own team and laugh amongst my Dolphins fans. Now, if you're another team fan, you trying to troll on my shit, fuck out of here, bro. Don't make me start trolling your shit, too. I'll make your whole fan base cry. Fuck around. Make your whole fan base hate, cry. Look, they'll be beating up anybody with a purple jacket on in their entire state. Anybody they run into with a purple jacket getting it, and they'll just be mad at El Capitan the whole time, little bastards. So, guys were out at practice, enjoying themselves. We went over a little bit of the practice squad, guys. The pickups, the additions, the everything. The Patriots will be in there tomorrow sometime. They'll be, lurking around all of Miami-Dade County. So just keep your eyes peeled. And I listen, these guys out at some clubs or something like that, I will get word. I will find out if these boys come here early and they're out at one of these strip clubs or one of these bars somewhere, I will find out. So freaking guys. Poll is in the chat. Make sure everybody's voting on it. Everything like that. Please, please, please. Ian Baller, thank you. Says facts. He didn't want to show Waddle and Hill. That ain't no lie, bro. That's what he didn't want. Because now it's just a figment of your imagination. And he's got two young corners on that team, a fourth and a fifth rounder. I think Brian from FinSide the NFL said they're gonna regret. I mean, bro, that is no way to start a guy's career off. Go guard Hill and Waddle. Good luck. This is gonna get ugly. If Tua really badly needs to take advantage of what he can. That's what he needs to do. He needs to take advantage of the matchups. Mike and listen, I don't put it all on Tua. I put a lot of it on Mike McDaniel and the offensive coaching staff. Looking at it from the bird's eye view up here and seeing the matchups, plus the communication with the wide receivers, to their coaches, to the collective of the team, in-game adjustments where you're like, hey, I'm smoking this guy. He's getting tangled up this way, that way. They look at it. They go, all right, next time, run that route on this play, and I'm going to hit you, and we're going to get his ass. And that's what I want. We need to see some of that. Somewhere they look at, I told you, getting it. Touchdown. You're welcome. Yes, DDG. Coaching and injury are the only excuses we will listen to. Yeah. All right. Dolphins Andrew Van Ginkel returns to practice after having his appendix removed. Jalen Waddle makes progress, so much so him and the boys were shaking down and, killing it earlier to some techno, no less. I couldn't even believe they were dancing techno. Miami Dolphins outside linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel was back at practice with the team Monday after having his appendix removed only 2 weeks ago. Van Ginkel appeared to be running well as he went through a pair of drills observed during a brief media a viewing point portion of Monday's practice ahead of Dolphins regular season opener for the New England Patriots on Sunday. Preseason's over, bitches. It is go time. Van Ginkel began missing practices on August 23rd at the start of the week, preparation of the final preseason finale against the Philadelphia Eagles. Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel said later that week it was because of an appendix removal, but he indicated he did not fear it would be a long-term issue. Van Ginkel has been a key edge presence for Miami the past 2 seasons. He started 25 games between 2020 and 2021, totaling in 9.5 sacks over the 2 campaigns, adding another sack and limited playing time to his rookie year in 2019. Van Ginkel has 134 career tackles over his 3 NFL seasons, being a 5th-round pick that the Dolphins got out of Wisconsin in 2019. Flowing with the hair, Wisconsin style. Van Ginkel. Love that muh. His role could become more rotational this season as the team added 3-time Pro Bowler Melvin Ingram, who projects to start opposite Jalen Phillips at outside linebacker. Miami also recently added veteran edge defender Trey Flowers to form this deep unit that is versatile on the edge. I can't wait, bro. This is the kind of stuff that, there's in the Josh Boyer defense, it's pretty telling that they're looking to get more from their edge guys and more dynamic in that D line. And there's a lot of different varying skill sets from these guys that, depending on the opponent, you're going to have a dude that you can rotate in and on certain plays to take advantage of. Dolphins' 3rd-string quarterback Skylar Thompson was the only player on the active roster not seen at Monday's session. Miami also had cornerback Nick Needham and fullback Alec Ingold running on the side while drills were going on. Dolphins receiver Jalen Waddle, cornerbacks Xavier Howard and Keon Crossan, and safety Rowe, who have all missed practice in recent weeks, were seen at Monday's drills and appeared to be practicing. So that's good news from Eric Rowe and Keon Crossan. I heard they were being extra precautious with Keon Crossan. Eric Rowe, I haven't heard a damn thing about. And I'm telling you, we're going to see him, especially in a game like this against the Patriots. He's an ex-Patriot. He could go out there. He could shut down Hunter Henry all game. He'll have no safety valve all game for Mac Jones, which in return, when he looks to a safety valve at his tight end that now is not there, he's going to hold the ball too long and cause sacks. Waddle was seen participating in drills. He has been slowly progressing back from an undisclosed injury. See, that's the right way. It was never told to us that it was a lower leg injury. It was only just a shot that we all saw with him catching a football on drills with his leg wrapped up. And then it was, it appears to be a lower leg injury. I'm telling you, it was never a lower leg injury, which McDaniel has deemed to be a preventative measure over the past 3 weeks with a compression sleeve on his right leg. See, I'm telling you, bro, that thing is looky here. Waddle was back at practice over the previous week, but in a limited basis, mainly just stretching. Beginning Wednesday, the Dolphins will be releasing a league-mandated injury reports for practice during the game. So, goes into another part of the article right here where they discuss the depth of our cornerbacks room and touch a little bit on Mike McDaniel saying in his press conference that, he felt very comfortable with the cornerbacks. Dolphins bypass picking up on one of a number of veteran Pro Bowl type cornerbacks in the weeks between the end of preseason and the start of the regular season, despite having a need at the position with starter Byron Jones out for at least 4 weeks on the reserve physically able to perform list, otherwise known as the PUP. Miami will instead, behind 3-time Pro Bowler Xavier Howard and starting nickel corner Nick Needham, will lean on a reserve group that includes Keon Crossan, Noah Igbenogany, undrafted rookie Kader Kahu, and safety/nickel DB type dude Elijah Campbell, who has played well at cornerback. The Dolphins signed veteran Justin Bethel, but he is predominantly a special teams contributor and initially being listed as a safety on the team's roster. There are very veteran to us is in regards of their capabilities, their strengths, their weaknesses, and so on. Mike McDaniel said of his cornerback room on Monday, because we were going through some of the injury stuff during the offseason, we actually got a more opportunity to really coach and evaluate and see our young nucleus of DBs, which was driving force to us to move to not make a move. We just heard them go through this. Among the veteran cornerbacks that are available that were out there, all names we were looking at, headlined on the Sun Sentinel, Joe Hayden. Everyone's going, why didn't we grab Joe Hayden? Also is available is Josh Norman, Chris Harris, Xavier Rhodes, Janoris Jenkins. All these guys are sitting out there. I don't want Josh Norman. I think he's cooked. Xavier Rhodes, Joe Hayden would be at the top of my list. Maybe Janoris Jenkins, because I like his physicality, especially if you had him play, the Nick Needham role and put Nick Needham on the outside. I think he'd get some work out of that. Xavier Rhodes would probably be a good one too. General Manager Chris Greer said last week the Dolphins would look into the market at the position, but not with added urgency. Added McDaniel on Monday, we were actually pretty fortunate to get to the process with those opportunities to kind of evaluate all the guys so closely, getting to see them at every single defensive structure, coverage, responsibility, and then getting an extensive time in the preseason. There are a lot of value that collective group really offers us. And then you weigh in against it, who's out there, and if you decide if you really want to go down NFL players that best served us not doing that. Former Dolphins wide receiver Preston Williams was signed to the Carolina Panthers practice squad. Goodbye, good riddance, and good luck to Preston Williams, who it seemingly looks like that the Panthers, since getting Baker Mayfield on their team, has completely shifted into what they're trying to do offensively, what they're trying to be. I don't know, bro. I don't know if we'll ever see Preston Williams ever take care of his business the way he was supposed to, man. Randy, what's happening, bro? Salute. DDG, what's going on? Logger Hop, what it is, what it do. Scott, you got the whole chat after you or what? What's up, FinsUp 74? What's going on, homie? Scott's got the whole chat up on him. You know what, Scott? Relax, homie. We're going to be all right. We're going to feel so much better in about 8 to 10 weeks because we're going to know if Tua's going to work, ain't going to work, and we're going to know if we're looking all right as a football team. If he ain't figured it out by 8 to 10 weeks and we don't know, then we'll know. But by that time, I think we'll have a lot of answers. What's going on, Ron? Didn't Fitz throw 3 interceptions in the first game of the season against New England in 2020? Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the final score was 21-11 New England? Fitzpatrick threw 0 touchdowns and less than 200 yards. I don't know, Paul. I'm going to take your word on it, homie. I'm going to take objectivity at this point. Everything up to this point has led us here to the week of, guys. I mean, this is go time. It is on time. And look, it feels like forever since there was football, but not that much. We've been kicking about it, talking about it all off season. And it's now coming to time. We're going to get a lot of answers to a lot of questions we have on our quarterback, on our coach, on what we are as an organization. I mean, look, I don't think it hurts us that Stephen Ross ain't out there, telling people what he thinks on a Monday then feels completely different on a Friday. He's like, you know what? I don't know if I really like that Mike McDaniel, honestly. And like, man, I love this Mike McDaniel on a Friday. It's just maybe the team will have some solace in him being gone. The only thing I'm upset about is that they took that first round pick. But all this stuff writes its own history as we come along. We can only prepare the way I know I'm going to prepare. I'm going to look at my opponent every week. I'm going to try to break down. I'm going to try to project what we're going to do against these teams. I'm going to look for videos. I'm going to try to, release things, breaking down stuff from the prior week and where we can improve, where our shortcomings were, why, whose fault is to blame. And then, if we're sitting again, Scott, coming week 8 and I'm still seeing, I'm say we're 500 in week 8. All right. But we're not seeing Tua do the things he needs to do as far as pushing the ball downfield or making the dynamic throws by looking at the film and saying, hey, he should have taken that throw. This could have helped us win this game in the totality of things. That type of shit will work itself out in the locker room too. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff will work itself out in the locker room. These players are going to know that, hey, we could have won today if this, and this went. They're watching the same film we are, I promise you. And that's another thing that there's going to be an accountability in this situation. So that's all I feel that will happen. And it'll take care of itself. There's no written history of it one way or the other. And Randy says here, he goes, this is a make or break year. He's set up to succeed for the first time. And that's it. And if he doesn't work out on a setup like this, then we can't say that, hey, at least we didn't give it the world, and that then we can address what the issues are. Because maybe it doesn't work out because of other extenuating circumstances. I don't know. But guys, make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribing if you're new. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, do us a kindness. Come over to YouTube, subscribe here on the YouTube network. You can get in the chat, get in with everybody, or go back and watch on YouTube anyhow. Also, guys, make sure you're checking out all the great content here on the program. Starting every Tuesday with Tonk 7 TMI Tuesdays, live between 9 and 10. Color's on there with them doing it as well. You guys can catch Color on Thursdays with the late night stuff, and also catch him with coffee and a cup of Color on some mornings. And then you got Late Night XL with Ali on Saturday nights, crushing it. Make sure you guys are checking it out. All the other nights of the week, you can catch me, El Capitan. I'll do as much as I can when I can, bringing out content, all the good stuff, breaking stuff down, whatever. Cash App, Venmo, help support the channel, guys. We really appreciate it. You can also go through our partners through Fanatics, link in the description, buy yourself some Dolphins gear. That helps support the channel. Or you guys can grab some of the gear that's down there. There's also a link to the new stuff, a whole big link full of all kinds of good swag, all kinds of good stuff. Shout out to all the members who help support the channel by becoming members and getting out all that good stuff. Really appreciate it, guys. And, you guys can also use Super Chat, everything. I appreciate everybody who did the Super Chats today as well. So let's take a look at the poll here. We've got 91 votes in the poll, 36%. Coming in second right now is 250 to 300 yards at 29%. Coming in at 36% for the win is 200 to 250 yards. Close third, though, only down 9% from second, is 300 plus yards. But there was 15% that said he would throw under 200 yards. If he throws under 200 yards, we got a real friggin' problem around here. We got a real problem around here if he throws for under 200. Unless we rush for friggin' 300 yards or something like that, then I'm like, all right, well, I guess he didn't need to throw. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case. But, like, if we're in a close game and Tua throws for under 200 yards, I'm going to be fucking pissed, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna be a happy camper. That is not gonna make me happy. See. But all right, guys. I'm gonna close up everything like that. Make sure to come back tomorrow and check out everything, guys. Hit the like button on your way out. Share the video. Really appreciate it. We're trying to get to 2,500 by the end of the week. Hopefully we can get there, guys. Help the channel grow in any way you can. There's super thanks. There's all kinds of good stuff. Make sure to go back and watch if you missed any stuff in the beginning. And we'll see you guys, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, every day until it's game day for against Patriots. FinsUp.